Welcome back to VCT for people in a hurry. Champions 2024 is finally upon us, and the group stage just wrapped up in spectacular fashion. We saw top teams from each region battling it out for a shot at the trophy and the $1 million prize. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is one of the most stacked group stages in Valorant history. No team had an easy way to the playoffs, and we saw a new upset every single week. The one seed from every region, the teams that everyone thought would qualify easily, were all knocked down to the lower bracket to fight for their lives. Just like always, I'll be giving a quick overview for you folks who can't watch the games live. Trust me, I feel your pain. But for this video, I wanted to highlight one team in particular. Before we get started, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying my content. I'll be uploading more videos as playoffs roll around, so make sure to check back often. Now let's get into the starting summary. EMEA 1 seed fnatic, coming into group stage in stellar form, was beaten by DRX in a dominant 2-0. Despite the surprise loss, fnatic reverse swept crew in the lower bracket to scrape into playoffs. China's 1 seed of edwardgaming just barely lost to G2, with two 13-11 scorelines blocking the top bracket qualification. The lower bracket was a legacy match between the Chinese super team and my favorite W gamers, paperrex. Paperrex demolished EDG in map 1, but with very poor performances on the other two maps, they got grouped and EDG made it through to the playoffs. I honestly can't tell if this is an upset or not. Since paperrex never quite bounced back to their top form, and EDG were also kind of struggling a bit in the regular season before bringing in Simon, I'd say this was about a 50-50. But what about the other two groups? Surely Geng and Leviatan, the respective 1 seeds in their region, and even favored to win the whole event, made playoffs without a hitch. Right? Well, my friends, let's jump into everyone's favorite team to love or hate, Sentinels. Since their win at Masters Madrid over Geng, Sentinels had a rocky road, missing out on Masters Shanghai and having a mixed performance in Stage 2. Sort of. The real problem with Sentinels wasn't their performance, it was their comps. They started using a deadlock Cypher comp on basically every map, and with the exception of one game against a struggling NRG, every time they played this comp, they lost, including their first game in Champions 2024 group stage against none other than Geng. Sen lost 2-0, one of which was with their deadlock Cypher comp on Ascent. Lucky for them, someone on the coaching team must have realized this strategy wasn't viable on every map, and going into their elimination game against FPX, they swapped things around. Also lucky for them, FPX, who I normally would have picked to win this game, did a little bit of trolling. They went with a no duelist comp on Lotus, putting Life, their over-aggressive duelist main, on Viper, the lurk-heavy smokes agent, and unsurprisingly, FPX lost 2-0. Over in the upper bracket, Pacific 1 seed Geng was taken out by teamheretics. Since Geng were favored to possibly win the whole event, this was certainly a surprise. For our main characters of Sentinels, this was not just a surprise, it was bad news. Geng destroyed them in their opening game, and now they were fighting for their lives. But so was Sen. And, somehow, it was Sentinels who controlled this game. It's easy to say why they won. They converted every single pistol, second round, and bonus. But any Valorant player should be able to tell you how hard that is to do in actuality. So, how did Sen actually win these rounds? Let's go chronologically. Sen take their first bonus on the attack side of Lotus. They don't have a super strong gun lineup, with only one full rifle, but on the other side, we see everyone on Geng have light armor compared to Sen's full armor aside from TENS. This levels the playing field a bit right from the start. But going further, Zekken already has Razult, a hugely powerful entry tool that fully negates any drawbacks of his Spectre. By having Zekken farm orbs and kills in the first 2 rounds, Sen have given themselves a strong chance in what would normally be a round favoring Geng. Let's see how it goes down.
Took all of C control, and he's farming up his own little orbs right here. Munchkin needs to be careful right here. If he gets carried out, yeah, that showstopper's gonna do the damage.
And the thing is here, if you're Sentinels, you don't have to fully commit to this. It seems like they might, though. TENS is already TP'd all the way across. You've got everything back sight, mowing over Geng.
An absolute firing squad that Texture just ran into.
I mean, he swings, and it's the most terrifying thing you could imagine.
It was diabolical.
a couple of days ago. This was the Sentinels that was missing in the opening match of this tournament.
Yeah, missing in stage 2, honestly. Even in the playoff, they barely squeaked in. Celsius gets the quick trade, securing the round.
Despite not getting a kill, the result still drew Munchkin's attention, allowing Celsius to take the fight and giving Sentinels a free rifle. Then we see a mistake from Gen.G. Instead of falling back and retaking as a team with a weapon advantage, we see two disconnected fights from Meteor and Texture. Even if they peeked together, they would have had a better shot, but Texture swings out a second after Meteor dies, right into a Sentinels firing squad. Lakia and Karen manage to get a kill each, but the round still goes the way of Sentinels. Swapping to the defensive half, we need to watch the second round to get context for the bonus. Despite losing Pistol, Gen.G force a Vandal for Texture, and Meteor goes for a Marshal. Definitely a risky play, especially with the other three players unable to buy anything at all.
Very close corner on Zek, and after you use that, I guess somebody could have sneaked in.
This cross is crazy, but Saucy was the backup. He was the reinforcement, so Paranoia is out. It's going to tag up Zek as well. It's just buying time. Wow! With the nade out, still manages to get one. But Karen on the equalizer. Celsius now aggressive with the Spectre upgraded in the hands of Munchkin. Can he hold the line? Finding all three!
Strike down A.
Meteor's Marshall. Finally besting him.
30 seconds
But
left.
he's now left in a 1v2, upgrading to a Vandal. No armor. Challenged in the smoke. Challenged in the map. Sentinels get to 9.
Though the Vandal gets a kill, the rest of Gen.G gets mowed down by Celsius, and they lose the round and give themselves a broken bye for what should have been their gun round. We see they can only afford 2 full rifles here with lots of light armor, giving Sen a gun advantage when there should have been a disadvantage. Let's watch how the round goes down.
It's a good sign for sencity. Paranoia out, the spit goes through. Zeket has to take a step back, but with Celsius intense fighting over his shoulder, it's all safe.
One enemy remaining.
Annihilated from the very beginning of the round. Bodies littering A main.
Did you see that? Yeah, me neither. This was just straight chaos. I don't think the guns came into it very much, but the light armor could have, because 4 of those 5 kills were body shots that might not have gotten a kill had Gen.G gone for full armor. But either way, Sen just Valoranted all over them and won the map 13-9. Moving on to Icebox, we saw the same story. Let's take a look at Sentinel's defensive bonus. Oof, not a single rifle, and even just a classic on John QT, while Gen.G have full rifles and full armor. This should be a free round for the Korean squad.
Out at the end, right? I mean, to a degree, he's absolutely right. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as it works.
Absolutely. Now Gen.G with clear gun advantage. Going into this round, it's another A default. A nice tag from Zekin. Gets a little too greedy, gets taken out by Lakia.
Yeah, swings into way too many. So the weapon will sit up in heaven.
Out of charges.
Gen.G with no real intentions of the rest of the map. They're all here towards A. Tench trying to get back and stay alive as Lakia is pushed so far already.
He's in a deep mix of things right now. Oh, Hunter's very invested.
But there are only sheriffs left. I don't know that it's going to be enough.
Oh, there's a lot of players low right now.
Yeah, they are. You're right.
And it's light armor on John and Saucy.
Can they settle this? Gen.G are playing so far up here. Munchkin has a knife too.
That's our tags. Oh, can't connect.
Texture, 49 HP. As the wall goes down, John QT segmented off. Texture again found success from this very position. Saucy on the reposition. They've gotten it down to 1. Texture's weak. Can he find it? Down to a 1v1. 7 bullets left. Saucy with the sheriff. He gets up top and Saucy drops him. The 3K is Sentinels win the bonus. What was that?
Another big round from him.
First things first, we see Saucy get the orb, in turn getting his ult. Just like Lotus, Sen are using their ult economy to the fullest to give themselves a chance at the round. But unlike last time, it's Gen.G that gets the first kill. Saucy decides to pop his ult anyways, but despite getting a kill, trades go in favor of Gen.G once again, and the Sen players only have sheriffs. I mean, how do they win this? Gen.G play up close, which some might see as a mistake, but I disagree. They're trying to stop the Sen players from getting dropped rifles and negating their gun disadvantage. The issue is, they're playing slightly disjointed once again. saci gets a good timing backside, and John QT is able to isolate an angle to fight Meteor, and despite the horrible buy from Sen, saci manages to convert the round in a 1v1 situation. And it doesn't just stop there. In fact, Sen got 5 in a row against full buy rounds from Gen G, and should have gotten a 6th, but Texture saved his team with an ace clutch, which they converted into 5 of their own. For the attacking bonus from Sentinels, we see another big gun advantage from Gen G, and this time, there's no ults to help Sen even the odds.
Spectres that they bought into the round. And it will be the first full buy for Gen G.
Pacey take across the middle of the map. Every single member with crosshairs trained there too. Look at that, a 1-for-1. Zelsis takes a step back. You see the pings on the minimap. He's spotted here. This is a dangerous fight.
4 members taking a fight against Zelsis. That's full information relayed.
Texture so weak, but he somehow stays alive and somehow cleans up tens before he even hits the ground.
Standing ahead.
But of course, it's saci. Who else? He's been so steady. He's been so stalwart. He's been so successful here. And on the international stage again, trying to drag Sentinels across the finish line. Meteor's left in a 1v2, and saci gets another. Sentinels get to 10.
The round starts strong for Gen G too. They trade off in mid to make it a 4v5. Texture at low health trades out for a full HP 10s to make it a 3v2. But once again, we see disjointedness from Gen G. Karen goes in alone, dies. Lakia goes in alone, dies. And now Meteor, with both of his teammates inting forward instead of playing a 3v2 retake, is forced to go in alone and die. Gen G only managed to convert one more round, leaving Sentinels to take the map 13-6, the series 2-0, and advancing to the playoffs in one of the biggest upsets this year.
Insert record scratch.
Wait, Kizzy, you forgot about Group C. Oh, did I? Or am I actually dedicating a whole separate video to how Trace Esports shocked the world in what may be the biggest upset of all time? I guess you'll just have to subscribe and turn on notifications to find out. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.